Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Screen. I'm your host, Ryan Gumm. I'm joined here today by Donovan Lainhart and Cole Ballinger, as always. You are listening to the Elephant Corduroys and their single, You Ain't Ever Tried. If you listen, link, as always, is in the description. The forever and always beginning and outro of our beloved show. Going back down now. So I do want to say something before we start, and I want to appreciate all you guys that watched the last one, because I know 100 views doesn't seem like a lot. It's really not, but for us, that's a pretty good landmark. We've hit it a couple times, but to hit it again is kind of cool. So thank you for tuning in, when those of you that do, because that's kind of a cool mark on, especially on this channel. So
we're growing.
We are growing.
Bigger, yeah.
It's kind of cool. Yeah. So before we get started into the world of cinema and the news that follows, how are you guys?
I'm great. How about you?
I can't complain, man. I'm here.
Having a good time, yeah.
I feel the air on my face for the first time in months, and it's kind of weird.
He looks like a wee baby.
I am a child. For those that can't see because of the mic, it's brand new. Like, I feel like I just got it like off the press. Like, I went to the store and I bought it and I applied it. I shaved, for those listening on Spotify.
I didn't know that Ryan was boyishly attractive, but he is. He looks great.
Yeah?
It does, yeah.
Yeah? Hey, man, you better be careful over there.
Oh.
Giving me all these compliments.
Crawl across this red table.
I have rose petals in my backpack. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's up to you at home to decide if I'm telling the truth or not. Anyway, I think it's time to move on to film news.
Let's do it.
So we start with something kind of sad, and I mean, I think it's good to get it out of the way at the beginning. Lance Reddick, I don't know if you guys have seen much of his work, but he was a fantastic talent, famous for The Wire, John Wick, and he was in the new Percy Jackson series. He was Zeus, or he is going to be Zeus. It's not come out yet. He has tragically passed away at the age of 60, which just feels young. You know, there's so much more he could have done, and so I just wanted to give the respect to a beloved actor, cut down in his prime.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Moving on. Creed 3 has surpassed the $200 million mark, outgrossing every other Rocky franchise film with the exception of one, Creed 2. And it's just behind it. This came out a few days ago, and it was at 200, and Creed 2 was at 214. So I don't know if it's like right about to pass it. I know it hasn't just yet, but it's about to. I would say after this weekend, it will be the highest grossing Rocky franchise film of all time.
People are hyped about this movie, man. It's supposed to be pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad because it's without Sly, without Mr. Stallone himself. But it's good to see that this franchise is in good hands. What do you think, Donnie?
I'm not a big fan of the franchise except for, first few Rockies. I like those. But that's a lot of money, dude.
I know.
It's gonna surpass it.
Last episode, we were talking about how film is back. I think this is just another example. We were talking about Creed specifically, but to see it another film cross 200 million, ridiculous.
People are going to the theater.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Go to the theater. Yeah. PSA that we will say every episode.
I just wonder if this trend will carry on into the summer. Now people are at the theater. It's cold and stuff.
I think it will, and I'll tell you why. One word, Oppenheimer.
Barbieheimer.
Yeah, that's a better word. You said counterpoint. Barbieheimer.
Man, that movie's going to make $1 billion.
Barbie or Oppenheimer?
Both.
Both? Honestly, yeah. I mean, why not at that point?
If I owned a drive-in, you better believe I'd have the double feature.
That's something that needs to come back. The drive-in.
Never been.
You've never been to a drive-in?
Never been.
Oh my gosh, the experiences I had as a kid going to a drive-in with my family. I remember so vividly, you'd pull up and on the screen it'd be like, tune your radios to this station, and they would be playing the audio of the movie over the station. So like what we would do is like my dad would back his truck in, lower the tailgate, and then he would just he had like a window in the back that would pop open on his Blazer. He would just pop open the window, crank up his radio, and we all just be like laying out on the back of his truck in his bed watching a movie.
We do that too. We'd put a futon in the bed of a truck.
Oh, dude, that's so smart.
Yeah, and just back it up. I saw The Dark Knight in a drive-in.
We watched a Disney cartoon when we did it. I see you guys. We brought blankets and we laid on the blankets in the back of this bed.
Asking a family of 6 to come and spit on my windshield because it's too dirty to see the movie.
Yeah, what?
Y'all got a bottle of water in there or something? No.
No, man.
You got that natural water. Yeah, come
Yeah.
on.
I know. No, I'm not gonna say that. Never mind. But yeah, man, you're missing out. With all the points we made, including your last one, you're missing out on the theater, on the drive-in.
Well, they got one in Stanford. I might go down and
They had
see
one
it.
close to where I grew up, near Ashland, I think, like long before. But I think it's well dead now. It's gone. Sad times, man. Anyway, we always do this. We started with Creed 3 and we got to the drive-in. But following Creed 3, according to Jeff Snyder, who is a cinema and like Hollywood insider via the Geekster on Instagram, who I hype them up all the time. I always forget to put their link in the description. I always have I have the retainer link for the other YouTube video for the intro. Then I never remember to go to Instagram and like copy and paste it. So I'm sorry, the Geekster. I hope you can forgive me. But anyway, I will get you on this one. Lucasfilm, Cole, can you please move your mouse? You're blocking my words. Thank you. We're on a Google Doc as before, and he'll press at the very end of a sentence, and his name will just be over the words.
It happens every week.
I know. I'm sorry. Lucasfilms has plans to announce 3 new films for Star Wars in this upcoming April Star Wars celebration. I'm kind of pessimistic about it, not gonna lie.
I know they canceled Rogue Squadron, and they're trying to move away from Taika Waititi because he's really not what Star Wars needs. I think they should get it the hell away from Taika.
He's a great mind, but his world just doesn't fit.
No,
Like, he creates a very like distinct universe with whatever
Goofy.
project. Yeah.
He can't be serious.
No, I mean he did really well when he was in The Mandalorian, but he was playing a character. And like that. So like that's not so much him.
He wrote a few episodes.
Yeah.
Directed a few episodes.
Yeah. So like he's got the ability.
We have any ideas about what era these might take place in?
I think so. One of them, and so this comes later, and I'll find it here in a second. But there is a new Star Wars. Yeah, here it is, and we'll come back to Stephen Knight, who is the creator of Peaky Blinders. For those that don't know, Stephen Knight's been busy. He's a busy guy. But he was pegged to write a new Star Wars film that takes place after the sequel trilogy, so after Rey and after Finn and all that. Originally, that was supposed to have been written by Damien Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson, but both of them left the project. Weeks before Disney and Star Wars actually announced they left, they dipped, and then Disney kept it hush. But then they brought in Stephen Knight, so I think one of these will be this film because it's they've only said when it will be. They haven't said what the project is. So I think that one will be one that will be announced is the Stephen Knight written Star Wars film. But other than that, I have no clue.
Surprisingly, I love the sequel trilogy.
Did you really?
I really like it. I've changed my mind on it.
Hit me with why.
That, I mean, yeah, it's got its problems. Really bad writing.
Lazy writing.
Yeah, but I think I like the world that they built. And I do, even though the characters are lazily written, I do like Rey, Finn, and Poe. Like I really like all those characters.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what comes after.
Yeah, honestly. See, here's my one thing that will always have like a place in my heart with the sequel trilogy, because I also don't like the last one. I'm very mad at still, but I don't dislike it simply because of just the hype that was surrounding it. I'll never forget being a high schooler, like late middle schooler, early high schooler, when these movies were coming out and trying to guess who Rey was, and the hype with my friends group. If you can't tell, I've been a nerd for a long time. But just like, you know what I'm saying? Like at the lunch table being like, no, Rey's a Kenobi, no! Just the yelling back and forth of something so stupid. But it's like, I'll never forget that hype. I'll never forget going and seeing the Force Awakens and being so blown away by it. That was like my first in my life that I remember Star Wars experience. And so like in the theater brand new. Because like the sequel or the prequel trilogy came out 99 before I was born, 03 I was 2, and 05 I was 4. So
I saw Revenge of the Sith in the theater.
And you remember that?
Yeah.
See, I don't remember. Like I would, even if I went to go see it, I wouldn't have remembered. So it's like just having that sequel trilogy being what it is. Like it'll always be higher than what it should be, in my opinion, because of that. So I agree with you, but for a different reason about the sequel.
I didn't really like past sequels. I loved the prequels as a kid, but I don't know. I really don't care for like what they've done in the past.
Yeah.
Besides The Force Awakens, when that came out, I liked that.
It's a good movie.
You know, we really sat there in high school at the lunch table and said that Jar Jar Binks was going to be the main villain
Yeah.
of Rise of Skywalker. We
Darth
believed
Jar
it,
Jar?
too. Yeah.
Yeah. That's still, that's still like a really prominent theory that he was like the main like catalyst for the downfall of the Jedi Order.
It's true.
Is
You
it?
watch the films, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was a politician in the Senate. So we can go ahead and move on off Star Wars because the only reason I'm cutting it short is because I could sit and talk about Star Wars for the entire episode. On May the 4th, we have to have just a Star Wars a day. Like, let us know if you want that. Anyway, moving on. This one has, like, there's a couple RDJ casting news, and that has me really intrigued because RDJ is Robert Downey Jr., and he is a beloved talent. But since Iron Man and since his exit in Marvel, he's only had a couple of projects, and not all of them were good. He did Dr. Dolittle, and that was a bad movie. I hate to call it bad, or any film bad, because of the effort that goes into it, but it was not a good film. And then he did one other, I think, and it was me.
Don't Look Up.
Was that it? I
It
don't.
was with Leo,
He's not in that.
Adam McKay. Or are you talking about Robert Downey Jr.?
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, okay. No.
No, he was in Dolittle, and he might have been in one more
Okay.
that I think was. I could be wrong, but first in the RDJ casting news, Robert Pattinson and RDJ will co-star in the next Adam McKay film, Average Height, Average Build. And when I first read that, I was like, man, this is going to be a weird film. Because when you hear that title, you're like, wow, what could this be about? Not what you would imagine. It is about a serial killer who becomes a politician strictly to try to lessen the laws around murder. That is his whole point. He's like, I'm going to be a politician. I've not been caught yet because when I do get caught, I don't want the needle. That's his whole point. And it stars Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Pattinson. I'm intrigued. I'm more than intrigued.
And it's Adam McKay, so it'll be good.
It has to be. I mean, when you get those two stars and that director, like, recipe.
The title could be different.
Yeah.
Like, it seems a little...
I want to watch the movie to see where that comes from. Average height, average build. Like, why? Because, like, in my mind, okay, you bring in serial killer. What if, like, he's, like, that's his type. Like, he can only kill people of average height and average build. Because, say it's Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is not a very tall guy. Like, he is of average height and average build. So it's like, that would be an interesting, like, little loop. Thoughts?
What else did Adam McKay do?
Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I didn't like that.
You didn't like Don't Look Up?
No.
Really?
Didn't care for it. But he directed Step Brothers. So,
Yeah.
love Step Brothers.
Oh, yeah, man.
He's really stepped out of
Big
the
Short.
out of the comedy. Like he's kept satirical elements, like in Don't Look Up. Like, it's very serious, but it's kind of making fun of the fact that nobody really cares.
Yep.
I'm interested in your opinion about Don't Look Up, though.
I don't know how to describe it. I just did not care for it.
What about it? Was it the story?
Yeah, I mean, it's satire. I get it. You know, I just didn't think it was all that.
Yeah. Interesting.
It was frustrating, but that was the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the point.
And is that what you were just like, this doesn't resonate with me?
Yeah.
Okay. That makes, like,
Well,
I can respect
I
that.
get it.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was a very powerful film.
Yeah.
Good satire.
Yeah.
Great performances. Leo, again, as always, just blows it out of the water.
I'm shocked he didn't get nominated for anything from that.
Yeah.
Because his performance, I mean, it's Leo DiCaprio, so, like, yeah, but his performance in that, like you said, it was powerful. But moving on, Adam McKay got another awestruck cast, and I'm very, very excited about Average Height, Average Build. Moving on, sticking with Robert Downey Jr., this one is a dual-edged sword because, well, let me just read it. RDJ is also set to star in a Paramount Pictures remake of Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo, with Peaky Blinders creator Stephen Knight writing. So we're back to Stephen Knight, sticking with RDJ. You don't need to remake this, man.
exactly. Yeah.
Like Paramount, Vertigo is a perfect film. Don't remake Hitchcock. Don't do it. Make something new.
It's perfect.
It is perfect.
He looks like the guy, though.
I know. Well, so like I've read that he was cast, and I've also read that he is wanting to be cast. So it could be either or. I think it's kind of a mixture of the two. I think it's probably like he is tied to the project, but he's not been cast yet, but he will be. Yes, he does look like the lead. I can't remember what the character's name was in Vertigo, but man, like, you don't remake Hitchcock, dude. You don't, like, he's one of the like founding fathers of like present day cinema. Just leave it alone. Just watch the old stuff. Because here's the thing, regardless of how good this film is, it's always going to be a disappointment. This could be the best film ever. Genuinely, this remake of Vertigo could be the best film to have ever been put to screen. But because it's trying to remake one of the best films already, it's just going to be a letdown. So spend your money somewhere else. Cast RDJ in something worth casting. Like, I'm intrigued. I will watch it. But it's like, Paramount, come on, man. Don't do this. Don't. But they are, alas.
I've got a casting.
Okay.
Oh, this is an old lady now.
For the new one?
Yeah, as the girl. She looks like, nah, she's too old.
What's going on?
Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks. As the
Oh,
girl
yeah.
from Vertigo. She would have been perfect in, like, the 90s. But she's kind of an old lady now.
I mean, she could still have a role, but it just wouldn't be that one.
Wouldn't be that one.
No.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that. That's dumb.
Just don't. Like, can you think of any other Hitchcock film to be remade? Because I don't think there's one that you can or should.
The Birds.
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I think Hitchcock hits such a unique, like, his flavor that he creates when he made films is so unique and distinct that if you try to recreate it, it's just going to seem tacky.
They remade Psycho, didn't they?
Though there was a sequel or a prequel series on
Motel.
it was
Yeah. I
And-
thought they did like a cheesy Psycho. Like
there might be, well, so there were sequels to it. There was Psycho 2 and all that, but that one wasn't really. I don't know if Psycho 2 was connected to Hitchcock though. But there have been multiple, like, but no one's ever remade Psycho, I don't think, unless there was just some 1970 something film where they decided they were going to remake it, which could very well be possible.
Psycho Sanitarium 2016.
I don't think that's connected to the Bates Motel or the Hitchcock film. If it is, I'm gonna be sad.
it's on the Wikipedia of like
All the
series.
no Psycho Sanitarium. That's a thing. For why?
I don't know.
What's
Norman's Hotel Murder Case 2013.
I'm curious now. I want to know the synopsis of Psycho Sanitarium. It says it's a book.
I think it's actually just called Sanitarium. And it was a series.
Okay. See, I'm seeing a 2013 film called Sanitarium.
Yeah, I think that's it.
That is directed by Brian Ortiz. 3 patients in an insane asylum experience hallucinations, altered realities, and imaginary voices. That's it. It's got 3 different directors. I don't think this is connected. I mean, it might be. It's got the kid from Gotham in it. The dude who played I don't know how his last name is pronounced. I think it's David Mazouz. 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 He played young Bruce Wayne in Gotham.
Okay. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's in this film. I don't know. I mean, if it is in the cash grab, that's all it is. But yeah, back to the point, as we've said before, don't remake, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the next one. This one hit me right in the nostalgia bone. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is getting a new movie at Netflix called Power Rangers Once and Always. And it looks pretty good. Rita, the titular villain of the original 90s run of the show, is back. A bunch of the original cast is back from the 90s show, including most of those who left on bad terms. And it looks really fun. I mean, I don't think they really need it. I've seen a lot of backlash towards it. like, or I shouldn't say a lot, just like a decent amount of backlash towards it being like, we don't need this. Like the newer ones are underrated and we don't need the old because they've aged 30 years. But I saw it and I smiled because, I watched Mighty Morphin growing up. I was a big Power Rangers kid. So the idea of this, and this is what's most interesting for anyone that has followed anything Power Rangers or film, will know that there was a death in the Power Rangers community. Which I'm not a part of, but it is a thing. It's a weird sentence to say. But Jason David Frank, who played Tommy, the Green Ranger, he was the Black Ranger in Dino Thunder, I think. I watched a lot as a kid. That one in particular, I watched a lot of Dino Thunder. But anyway, Jason David Frank was in that, and he has since passed away tragically last year. What's interesting about this trailer is that within it, you see the Green Ranger in a few shots. He never speaks. He's never doing anything other than like hanging out and power posing with the rest of them, but he's there. And you can't have the Green Ranger if it's not Jason David Frank. Now, he was doing a lot of projects before he passed away, so there's a big theory that he is in the suit one last time as Tommy, and that there was it was hidden, and that now that this film's coming out, that's going to be something they kind of like drop on everybody. Is that the Green Ranger is in fact in the film, and one last time Tommy makes an appearance to fight.
Did they know he was gonna die? Like, did he expect to?
He took his own life, so no one expected him. No, it was. I remember when it happened, and I was pretty sad for a while because that's Tommy. Like Power Rangers, man. Like when it was a big deal. It really was, and it's tragic because he was creating his own. It's not Power Rangers, but it was like. He got a Kickstarter campaign and was creating his own film based on Power Rangers. And so it was like the similar like power, like the suit and stuff, but it was more like, it wasn't so much kid oriented. It was going to be more adult like, but with his own lore, and he was the lead in it. And I think it was just about finished when he passed. I don't know if that one's going to get released. I don't know if it's already released. I haven't kept up with it, but there's a few things that Jason David Frank was really invested in, and I'd like to see them. Just as a fan, just my childhood self. I haven't watched Power Rangers since I was 9, but I'm still like, please let me see it. Like, I will watch this film just to be like, I remember this. Strictly. Did any of you watch Power Rangers as a kid? Am I the only one?
I watched it. Yeah, I watched it when I was little. I can't remember much about it. Did you watch the newer one with what's his name from Stranger Things?
2017.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch that. It was. I think it
Baker
wasn't it Bryan Cranston as Zordon, the big head. I think he was. I'm pretty sure. Because he was bald again, wasn't he?
I wonder if this is like
he was.
a good movie. It has a 51 on the
So
tomatoes.
from what I've heard, like I said, I've not seen it, but from what I've heard is that it's just a normal Power Rangers like episode, like what you'd find on Nickelodeon, but it's just with high budget. So it's like it's nothing new, which is kind of what the producers and the film like touted it to be. It was going to be something unique, something Marvel-esque, something completely new to what was before, but still taking that same inspiration. But it's just like, oh my gosh, kids are now powerful. Villain shows up, kids overtake villain despite themselves, and that's the whole plot. Isn't Zac Efron in it? Did I mistake that? I thought he was in it. I could be very wrong though.
No.
He's not in it? Okay. I thought he was, but I'm incorrect.
But it seems like the reviews are a little bit better than the score. Like people
Oh yeah.
People are giving it something. They're like, "Oh, it's okay."
For those that like Power Rangers to begin with, I'm sure that it was just their movie.
Yeah.
So I might not dislike it. I just wasn't interested by it. Because at that point, I was 16 when that came out. I hadn't watched it in years at that point. But yeah, there's a lot of films that do that. That like the critics give it an awful review, but then like the fan score, like Venom is one. Venom was hated by critics, but the like media score, like the viewer score was high. So who knows? Maybe that one is. Maybe it's got some more substance to it.
I really enjoy Venom.
Venom is good.
Yeah.
Venom 2 was. I thought it was a little less than the first. It went by too quick. Like you have Woody Harrelson as Carnage, and you don't take more advantage of that. Like give him more screen time. I digress. It was just 90 minutes. About real quick. Venom 2. Venom 1 was really good.
Venom 2 was legitimately just carnage. Like,
Yeah.
not the character, the noun.
No, I know.
Just carnage.
It was a good sequel, but it wasn't as good as the first. So it's definitely still worth watching. Where are we? Okay, here we go. Here's another one. You talk about casting and recasting and people coming back to their roles. Linda Blair, who played the original, what is her name? Regan McNeil in the original The Exorcist, is reprising her role for David Gordon Green's remake, or I think sequel maybe. Maybe it's one of those in-betweens where it's not a remake, but it's not quite a sequel. It's both. The Exorcist. So David Gordon Green, for all you guys that don't know, he directed the new Halloween trilogy. So he's a big name in the landscape of horror. I don't know if this Exorcist film is also produced by Blumhouse, which is what the other three, the Halloween trilogy was. But I like David Gordon Green. I think he's good at creating that sense. Like he takes that cliche horror feel, but he adds a nice little twist to it that's unique to him. I liked the new Halloween trilogy. I thought, have you guys seen it? Did you guys watch it?
I have not.
So I won't spoil it for Donnie, but I like what they did in the last one with the whole evil perspective, because that is what John Carpenter wanted to do from the beginning. He didn't want it to be singular in its villainy, and I just didn't like necessarily how they went about it. I thought it was a little corny. They had all the opportunity in the world to do something cooler, but they didn't. And that's all I'll say. So you can, like, if you want to watch them, Donnie, you can.
I watched the original, maybe the second or third one too, but
Yeah.
just Jamie Lee fighting the same dude for like 50 years.
Yes. So and you're right. Are you talking about when you say the second or third, do you mean like the newer ones? Or do you mean like the ones from back in the day?
Back in the day.
So the newer ones, the one that came out in it was like 19 or 1920, then 2022. This last trilogy, it cuts out everything between the original from 1978 and it's like a direct sequel to the 1978. So everything after 1978 is technically retconned. And so it goes Halloween 78, Halloween 18 or 19, then the two after that.
That's cool.
Kills and then ends. And I really liked it. Like
There are only 4 in canon now?
Essentially, yeah.
Wow. I need to revisit the 78 because it's supposed to be a minimalist sort of masterpiece.
Yes. So Myers, in the original script from Carpenter, Myers is just called the Shadow, and in many when you watch the end credits, he's credited as, or no, not the Shadow. Sorry, the Shape. He's credited as the Shape. He's not called Michael Myers. He's called the Shape, and that's a big deal because when Carpenter was writing it, it was meant to be like a representation of evil. He's not really meant to be anything. He's just meant to be straight evil. But when he created the sequel, have you ever heard of Halloween 3 like back in the day? I can't remember what it's called, but that one is one of the only Halloweens without Mike Myers, and people threw a fit because Mike Myers wasn't in it. But the whole point was that Mike Myers wasn't supposed to be the face of the evil. The evil's supposed to be something in itself.
Who was it?
It was like a company, so it was like they would sell like these masks and they would turn people's heads into like bugs, disintegrate. It was really it's considered now one of the best of the series, Halloween 3, and like people look back now and regard it very highly. It's a cult classic. But back in the day, no Mike Myers, people threw a fit, and that's why you get like H2O and all these like kind of mediocre where Myers is forced. And that's kind of what they go back to. They want, or well, I shouldn't say it like that. They try to hint back at this original concept in what is now the canon series at the very end. They try to say, well, Mike Myers isn't just evil. Like evil is not just represented by Mike Myers. Evil is encompassing. It's everywhere. It is something you cannot just label and quantify, which was really cool. I love the idea and I love the philosophy they were trying to hit. I just didn't like how it was executed. And you know what I'm saying, Cole, and for those that watch at home, you know how they do that with the new one. But I digress. I enjoy the idea. So give it a watch, Donnie.
Will do.
Yeah.
As a horror sort of motif, or like common theme, yes, like unrelenting evil really works.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I think that I like movies that are a little bit more based in reality because I
Yeah.
Pure evil doesn't exist as much.
Yeah.
It really doesn't exist in reality.
I mean, evil is kind of, you know how they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder? So is evil. Evil is also like your evil might not be my evil. And and it's all about perspective. So like something we were talking about in one of my classes recently is like, we are all our own main characters, and like I am a side character in your life, but you're a side character in mine. So it's like, it's all about perspective. I like the idea, the simplistic idea of evil as a villain. I've come around to that idea a lot. Like, less is more, which is why I think I liked it so much. But if you want it to be more based in reality, you're right. There is really no such thing as evil. And I think that'd be a fun concept to try to put to film. Like, maybe you have two different characters' perspectives who are very different, and from the first perspective, half the movie, it's like, this is obviously evil and this is obviously bad. But then you switch the perspectives, and the ends are justified. This is something we've really seen.
I like that.
Yeah. Cole, you're thinking of something. I can see them gears turning.
Philosophical stuff, but we can move on.
Yeah, we can. I'm curious what you're thinking, but we
I don't know.
can.
It just seems like all this evil everyone talks about is like it seems like in America, like if someone does something bad, it's usually because like something evil, like something really bad. It's either because of like social things, like like violence that stems from things like poverty, or it's somebody trying to get like money or drugs, doing evil stuff. You know, they're like messed up. Like, I don't know. If you call the Nazis evil, it's like there were some of them that were, but the Nazi soldiers were definitely not evil.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Like, it's like the soldier following orders is that person, because like obviously, like for those at home, Cole is not trying to say that Hitler wasn't evil. He's trying to say, what about the soldiers who listen because they're good soldiers and they're doing what they do?
But was Hitler pure evil? I guess, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. Like his ideologies were.
They were evil.
Yes.
But was he evil?
The man?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say so, because like the ideas originated from him. Like, but if you like, I don't know. You look back, I don't think that there was much inspiration other than something that he probably came up with himself. You know what I mean?
I don't know if it was all him.
No, but like this is a dark-haired, dark-eyed man saying blonde hair and blue eyes are only allowed, and we should kill everyone else that's not blonde hair and blue eyes. And he's a dark-haired, dark-eyed man.
He killed himself, so there you go.
He did do that, yeah. But the whole, I don't know. Like, I get what you're saying though. Like, what about those who are just doing what they do because like you don't want to see yourself as evil? Because I can promise you, a lot of those German soldiers did not think they were evil. But to bring this back to film, it would be kind of cool to see this concept portrayed. I think you saw it a little bit in All Quiet on the Western Front, like the new one, because that is the German soldiers' perspective. Like, that is what they're like. That is genuinely what we're talking about. They were innocent children.
They thought they were going to summer camp.
Yeah, like they thought they were coming back to honor and glory and gold and all this stuff. And you know, never at one point in that movie did they think, "Oh man, we're the bad guys." And which I did enjoy. That was a really kind of a cool perspective because, like, you know, and I mean that was World War I guess, so they weren't necessarily. But regardless, it's time to move on. I'm very excited to see Linda Blair back as Regan McNeil in David Gordon Green's remake of The Exorcist. I don't know if it's a remake. I mean, well, like I said, it's kind of a mixture of the two. But whatever. According to The Vanity, the Writers Guild of America approved the use of AI as an aid to screenwriters in their creative endeavors, allowing the writer to use the AI as a tool with the writer maintaining credit. However, following this announcement, there was a lot of backlash, and the guild immediately put out a notice saying, hey, we do not approve of AI, actually, and we're looking to ban it. So they turned their minds around real quick once they kind of heard, like, it feels like they didn't put out a statement saying it was just a report from someone else saying that they were okay with it. But I feel like this is like when you want to go jump in the pool and you stick your toe in and you're like, is it cold? And you realize it's cold and you just go back inside and you're like, I'm not doing this. I think that's what they did. Like, they got backlash, but it was also like, no, we didn't put out a statement. So we're going to see what people think first, and then we'll just go the way. That's just kind of what it feels, because to turn around that quickly, they were already on the fence about it to begin with.
I don't think it'll do anything. I think that it'll be we have about 2 years left of filmmaking. And
Oh,
then-
really?
Yeah, and then I think AI, like you'll be able to just hit a button and it'll create a film for you.
Yeah, but I just don't think that AI will ever be good enough. Like people talk about, oh, like the Terminator type, robots who will show up, and I don't think that robots will, or like AI specifically, will ever have that human flair. So I think that what you're saying is accurate. I think that it'll be hard to prove that a writer did use AI, but I think we'll always be able to tell. I think that it'll be like, okay, there's not a human flair in this. I think we'll be able to distinguish. Those that do a mixture of the two will be a lot tougher, but there will never just be a straight up AI film production. Like, oh, all pre-production is done by this AI, and then we just throw it in the production and do post.
I think that you won't have to do any of that. I think you just hit
Oh, it just makes a movie?
just makes a movie. Yeah, I mean it's getting really sophisticated, y'all.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean-
South Park used AI to write the last 5 minutes of their episode a couple weeks ago.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, they did. The episode was about AI. It was about Chat
Yeah.
GPT.
GPT, I think, is what it's called. Chat
Yeah,
GPT.
it was totally about that. And then they used the app to write the last portion of their episode.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those guys have been around for a long time.
Oh yeah.
They're always on the cutting edge of everything.
It's so funny because it's South Park. Why are they on the cutting edge of technology and ideas?
It's the best, man. South Park's the best.
They take 6 days to make an episode. So I forgot what I was gonna say. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good. So you're telling me they take a little less than a week per
Yes.
episode.
Yeah, they finish the episode the day it airs.
That's kind of
So
cool.
So they're up to date completely.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, they have a documentary about it.
It's always
Yeah, so I was trying to think.
Yeah.
and stuff in the news cycle is always on South Park.
Yeah. That's
Everything
just
is
very
great.
unique. That makes me think of like SNL. Like they're very much kind of calling an audible every week to decipher what they want. And that's the best kind of art too, is one that's in tune with its surroundings. Yes, I did just call South Park art, so
It is art.
it is
It's
art.
high art.
Yeah.
I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would disagree with that simply because of the content of South Park, but
It's satire.
it is. Yeah, that's the whole
Yeah.
point. Yeah. So we'll go ahead and move on past AI, but yeah, I thought that was interesting. I really think that's what I imagine happened. The Writers Guild, like, this could just be a false report completely, and the Writers Guild could have just been like, no, we never wanted AI. But it's just so funny that it broke. Everyone's like, what? This is awful. And then immediately the Writers Guild's like, no. Regardless of whichever way it swings, it looks bad for the guild. You know what I'm saying? Just because of how quick that they turned around, if they did turn around. Anyway, you guys have heard of The Last of Us, right? You know, that little show that ended a couple weeks ago. It was fantastic. I watched the whole thing, and I'm very pleased to report it's just as good as the game, if not better. It expands on some of the lore and some of the characters and gives more like definition to certain things throughout the series, which I really enjoy. But John Wick director Chad Stahelski, I pronounce his name completely wrong. Stahelski. I keep wanting to put an N in there. I do that every time. I promise I know how to pronounce his name. Says interest in his Ghost of Tsushima film has grown since The Last of Us' success. So we talked about this just a couple weeks ago about how this director Chad has been wanting to push and kickstart this Ghost of Tsushima. He has it written, or at least has it mostly written, but he has other projects and is not really for sure which one he wants to go with. So, do you think Stahelski goes forward with this Ghost of Tsushima since now video game movies are cool?
Let me see what else he's done.
I'm pretty sure he's the director of all the John Wick franchise. He's done a few more before that.
How did John Wick 4 do in opening?
It's fantastic. It's considered the best of the franchise. Like, touted as one of the best action movies of the century.
Yeah, it seems like people really like it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go watch it very soon. I'm very excited about it. And I've not been excited for like an action film in a long time.
I saw a video where they had the stunt doubles in the movie like falling down
The escalator, yeah. They said action. This dude went full fledged, like jump flip. Like you've all seen it. That's intense.
Like, how do you like if I did that fall one time, I'd break 4 or 5 bones. Like,
Yeah. Well, he probably did.
Yeah.
Like, he's getting paid a lot of money, and that health insurance is tough. He probably goes home and smashes a finger just to prove a point.
just to feel something.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I'm really excited. I know I described to Cole the Ghost of Tsushima. Donnie, do you know what the Ghost of Tsushima is?
I've only heard a little bit about it.
So it's a game originally based in like what period was it? Crap, I'm gonna have to look it back up. Hold on. So yeah, so you play as a samurai on a quest to protect the Tsushima Islands from the Mongol invasion of Japan. And so you travel around the island. It's essentially free roam, and it's just really in depth. It's created like a cinematic experience. So like you can put it in like cinematic mode where it's like in black and white and it looks like an old Japanese movie. And it's just so deep and rich in history, and just it's so cool. And that's something that I've really been excited to see put on screen, because it's already made like a film. Like that's kind of like the idea, is that it is a cinematic experience. But I am a little worried about how much story there is and how much they can fit into the film. Like, can Stahelski accurately portray this story in just one film? That's kind of my question. And how much does he try to put in one? Because that seems to be a big problem with like these big stories and going to film, is that some people cram too much into like 90 minutes. And it ruins it. It ruins the experience. So hopefully that if this is going to be done, it's either very well like paced, or it's like a 2 or 3 film thing. Just because the game has so much to go for it.
When's that Fortnite movie coming out?
Fortnite! When, I don't know, buy the new game.
What if they made a movie? Or no. What
Or
if
new
they made a
skin?
game that was about American soldiers in the Middle East?
A game about the American soldiers in the Middle East. Doesn't that already exist?
Call it like
Call of Duty. I have an idea. Oh my gosh. This is the best thing ever. We're going to make so
we
much
should
money.
Call someone about it.
You know, there's this company called Activision.
Yeah.
I've heard they're really good. Oh, yeah. No, but we're going to get working on that idea. But in the meantime...
Call of Duty game set in like the War of 1812.
We've not seen that.
Like the Spanish-American War.
Which was a month. It was like, what are you talking about?
Fighting in Cuba.
There was literally nothing. There was no fighting happening in the Spanish-American War. Do you know the history behind that?
I thought they fought.
Really? We had, so old Teddy Roosevelt had his big white fleet, which is genuinely what it was called. It was a big like naval fleet of these giant white boats. And one of them was down in Cuba, and it blew up because of a malfunction. But no one knew that because, like, for whatever reason, no one decided to check the wreckage. So yellow journalists throughout America went and said, oh, it was an attack from the Spanish, because we were, as goofy as it sounds, wanting to liberate Cuba. Not because we wanted it to become one of our territories, because we wanted to really liberate Cuba, which didn't pan out for us. But, I mean, in terms of it becoming one of our stuff, because, yeah, we did not want to just liberate it. But that was what we painted it as. Like, we were, oh, let's liberate Cuba. And Spain was like, no, because, you know, that is ours. But then this thing blew up, the ship in the coast of Cuba. And so Teddy Roosevelt was like, war. And he declared war on Spain. But Spain was so broke from previous wars that a month later it said, you can have it.
So we got Cuba.
That's how, technically. They just freed Cuba. We never actually took it.
You know, I got a friend, and his papa was in the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Oh my
I
gosh.
talked to his papa about it, and he said, yeah, we were down there looking at Fidel Castro's boats. We were fishing and everything, and I said, I wish he would have shot at us or something. We were so bored out there.
Oh my gosh. That would have been the worst nuclear disaster of all time. He called him Fiddle?
Fidel Castro.
That's the most... Where's he from?
Here, Rock Castle.
That's the most Rock Castle, Kentucky thing I've ever heard. Man, I wish Fiddle would have just took one shot.
I'm like, my friend still, like, he said, he's an old guy. So, like, my friend says that, like, he still doesn't really get the gravity of what he witnessed. Like,
what he was there for.
Yeah. The closest we've ever come to
nuclear Armageddon. Wow. That's actually kind of funny.
It's like, hilarious.
This old hick just does not understand what happened.
He's like, yep.
Oh, I love and hate our state so much. Oh, okay. I guess it's time to move on and get back to actual film stuff. This one I thought was really intriguing. Marvel fired longtime exec Victoria Alonso, who was in charge of physical post-production, VFX, and animation since the first Iron Man. Now originally it was reported that she stepped away, but I've seen reports since that says she was straight up canned. It's been a long time coming. I hate to say it. Like, after the first, how many Marvel films? Like, because the first, I would say 7 years, great VFX. Fantastic post-production.
Yeah, they look so much better in, like, the first Iron Man movies.
Yes.
Than they do now.
Yes, which is stupid.
Which came out 15 freaking years
yeah.
ago.
So, like, it's idiotic that it is this way, right? I'm shocked it took them this long to finally fire her. I get she's been around for a long time, and, like, I guess, like, oh, she's been here, so why would we get rid of her? Dude, she's canning your entire project. Why did it take you close to a decade to get rid of her? I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I don't know, the quality, it's declined in just the past couple of years. Really, I think they just gave her so much work to do,
You think that, so you think it's more Marvel?
I don't know. They're cranking out projects.
No, you're right.
A year,
You're right.
But
the animators and the editors and stuff are just overworked
And underpaid. I definitely think it's not just her fault, but also that's your job.
You're in charge.
Yeah, that is your job.
Like, why don't y'all hire more people?
See, that's the other part. Like, why you have all the money in the world? Like, genuinely all the money. Why are you not hiring? Or why are you not paying?
Why, if you were such a big company, why make a bad movie?
You have, like, they could have taken a decade break and still would have had the money they have now. People would have lined up, like blocks down these theaters to see this. But they decide to shoot them all out.
How many projects have been in phase 4? Like, almost 30?
Has it been almost 30? It's been a lot.
Maybe not that many, but still.
Yeah.
There are a lot. Maybe 20.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely think you're right. You make a good point. It is also, like, it's just as much Marvel as a company's fault. But also, like, and I did say the last decade. Maybe it's a lot less than that. I would say probably the last 5-6 years maybe. But that's still a long time for someone who's just not doing their job correctly. Like, and you can, once again, you can put all that blame, or, well, not all of it, but a lot of the blame on the fact that she had less time with less money. That is completely fair. That is still her job. And they were still getting subpar results. We'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. I haven't seen anything about them hiring anyone new. Like, I don't know who they replaced her with. I don't know. I know that Marvel as a company said they're going to scale back and focus on quality. So hopefully we get the Marvel of 2010. Yeah, 2011. That'd be really nice. Moving along, Universal Pictures has added to its 2024 list of released films Jordan Peele's 4th movie. It will come out on Christmas of next year, and it will compete with Disney's Avatar 3 and Paramount's Sonic 3. I want to see Jordan Peele's 4th film beat those two so bad. Like, I'm happy with Avatar. I would like to see it continue doing well, but I want to see Jordan Peele just absolutely just run and home wreck that show. Like, can you imagine on Christmas Day in 2024, Jordan Peele's got the winning weekend? That'd be fantastic. Awesome. Yeah.
There are actually 2 movies coming out. Jordan Peele's going to release 2 movies in 2024.
Really?
Yeah, one on Christmas and one before.
I didn't know that the first one. I've only seen the one about Christmas. What's that? Or, well, I guess that they've not released what either of them are about. Is it also through Universal?
I think so.
Interesting. So 4 and 5 coming out next year, with 5 coming out on Christmas Day. Fun. I'm here for that.
You think Avatar 3 gets pushed back?
No.
No?
Christmas Day would be a huge win for them. Also, I was reading that Avatar 3, because James Cameron was talking about his 9-hour cut of Avatar 3. I've heard that, or I was reading a report, I think it was from Comic Book on Instagram, that Disney's going to release it as like a 9-part series on limited series on Disney Plus, instead of just scrapping that cut, and then they will release the 2-3 hour cut in theaters. I think the theatrical release will be first, and then the 9-hour will come after. But
Yeah, probably.
which would be cool.
I think it'll fail to make as much money as 2 did.
Seriously,
Yeah.
I don't think that's far of a leap. Actually, I think I can understand.
I think people that have seen 2 might lose the hype.
I'm interested because of the narration switch. I
Son.
wish he didn't say it. I would have loved it to have been a surprise. You walk in to see Sully, and you come in and it's his kid. But regardless, yeah, James Cameron, we talked about it I think a month ago, confirmed that in 3 the narrator switches from Jake Sully to his child, the surviving son.
What about the movie critic coming out?
Ah, the
Tarantino.
final film from Tarantino. Yeah, I'm shocked I didn't put that on here. But yeah, I'm happy you brought that up. 1970s cinema, the final film in Tarantino's catalog, according to himself. Do you think he stays retired?
Did he actually say that'd be?
Yeah, he
his last?
said he said he would only do 10 films, and the film critic would be his last one, his 10th film.
I don't think he stays retired.
You don't think so? Why not?
It's just what he does. He makes movies.
It's what he does.
Yeah. I feel like he'll retire for a little bit, and then he'll come back.
Yeah,
He's not done.
Cole.
He's done.
You think so?
Really?
Yeah. I think his catalog's impressive enough that he feels like he's done everything that he really wants to do.
That is fair.
How old
And
is he?
Oh, he's 60 something, maybe late 50s at the very, very earliest. But then he would have started young. I think he's
He's 60. He's going on 60.
and it seems like people are saying that this one is going to be Tarantino's message to
yeah.
the world of cinema.
Is it his magnum opus?
I think Inglourious Basterds already did that.
I know, but it's his last one. Do you think that that's what he aims for?
Maybe. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was that.
I loved Once Upon a Time.
That's what he was shooting for in that film.
I know that people didn't really like that one as much. I think it's art. He said, in an interview, if I remember correctly, didn't he say that one was his best? Didn't he say that Once Upon a Time was
Either
his best?
best or his favorite.
It was one of the two. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen that interview. It was either his best or his favorite. I don't remember which one it was, but he thinks of Once Upon a Time highly himself. Obviously, as a director, you would, but I loved it. I thought it was so interesting with the history. I'm a history nerd, as you can't tell from my Spanish-American War rant a second ago. But seeing the Manson family reimagined was really cool. And the comedy in it was really, I think it hit real hard. Watching Leo bust out of a shack with a flamethrower just to crisp one of the Manson families in his pool was so funny to me. I don't know why it was so funny, but the happy ending that, what's her name? The original actress that was murdered, the pregnant actress, that she survived. That was cool. I liked it. Sharon Tate. Yep. The fact that Sharon Tate was able to live and that you see her at the end and she walks out is everything okay? And Leo and Brad Pitt are just yeah. Leo's still got the flamethrower on. It's just so cool. I love Once Upon a Time. And so it's sad to see him end. I think I'm kind of with Cole. I think he's done. For everything that you've said, but also to kind of give to Donnie's point, as a creator, I don't know how you can just stop. Especially with someone who's done it for as long as he has and as successful as he has. I don't know how you just don't do that anymore. Because that's not just your job. That is who you are. You're a creator. And I feel like if you stop doing that, won't you lose your purpose? Maybe he's a better man than I am, and he's super confident in who he is outside of film, so he doesn't need it. But you know what I'm saying?
Maybe he continues to write, and maybe he'll
That's a good point.
just have it written by credit and something.
Yeah.
And he just won't direct anything.
That's a good point. You can still write stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Bounty Law? Remember that? He said he was going to do a 9-part series about...
Yeah.
There's the show.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time.
Maybe that doesn't count as a film and he's going to keep doing series now?
Wait, wasn't he supposed to direct a series coming up? It may have just been Bounty Law.
I think that's what it was. I don't think there was anything else. There might have been interest in other shows where he was like, "Oh, I might do that," but I don't think it was anything else.
He also said he wanted to do the Zorro and Django. You remember that?
Yes. Yeah. He also I heard before that he was going to make Kill Bill 3 his final film.
See, that's what I wish he would do.
Yeah.
God, Kill Bill. Like, the second one is so good.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is so good.
Mm-hmm.
I think they might be, I mean, they're top 3 for sure. If you count them as one movie, I would say it's like Inglourious Bastards, Pulp, Kill Bill.
I love Unchained, though. I love Django Unchained.
I've seen it 10 times.
Yeah. I think, for me, it would have to be Once Upon a Time up there. So I think Pulp is his best. I don't think he gets better than Pulp Fiction. I think that, like...
It's hard.
Talking about magnum opus, I think that was his. But like you have to have Inglourious Bastards and, like in my mind, Once Upon a Time. I think it goes like in that order. I think it goes Pulp, Inglourious, Once Upon a Time. For me, that's just my opinion. I love the Kill Bills. They'd be like 4 and 5. But then there's so many more like that he did that are so good.
You know, I don't care for Reservoir Dogs as much as I think I used to. I care.
I
love
still
it.
love
It's still
Reservoir
great.
Dogs.
Yeah, it's like a 10.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's only made 10. Or you mean like 10
It's like a
10,
10 out of 10,
10 out of 10. Okay, I thought you meant like it's on the list. It's like I would hope so.
what's his worst one?
I was
Hateful Eight?
just wondering that. I was thinking Hateful Eight, but that's still a good movie.
Have you seen Jackie Brown?
Yeah,
I think
love
it's underrated.
I love it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
so
very
good.
smart. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once, but I loved it. Death Proof is really good. Dusk Till Dawn is really good. True Romance, obviously.
See, like there's not a bad Tarantino film.
People forget Jackie Brown.
I don't know. I don't know what his worst would be. I think it probably would be Hateful Eight, but it's still really good. Like I still enjoy Hateful Eight. Like I wouldn't say that I enjoy it as much as the others, but yeah, I do. I need to rewatch Jackie Brown. Truth be told, I don't remember much about that one.
See, I really don't either.
I know I've seen it. I just don't remember it.
You know, that right there is Jackie Brown, a sequel to Pulp Fiction. A lot of people say that Sam Jackson's character is Jules.
In Jackie Brown?
Yeah.
His name is Ordell Robbie in the film. But he's like, that's like a nickname maybe.
Yeah.
Royale with cheese. Sorry.
I saw like a meme with like SpongeBob and Patrick saying that crap.
Yes, I've seen that too. Yeah. Those are good. Wasn't that AI made too?
Probably.
I think it was.
You're not going to be able to tell in about 6 months, y'all. We're living in the end times. I swear. It's going to get so good that it's going to start compounding on itself. And then we're going to turn around and we're going to be like enslaved ant beings. I think we are.
I disagree.
We're going to be nothing more than insects.
I don't think there will be anything that can outdo humanity outside, like in terms of technology.
Screw humanity.
I think we are our own undoing.
Yeah.
If we're talking about like human and the lack of humanity later in life, but I don't think it'll be because robots get our launch codes and say death to the creator. I don't think that's what will happen. I think we'll probably global warming will probably be the end, but well, that's neither here nor there.
I mean, I think
Don't look up.
AI will be like, yo, y'all just haven't figured it out. You just have to like, you gotta all like bake bread at the same time, and global warming will be gone. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm saying?
here's the
Just
thing
tell
too.
us.
That's assuming that AI becomes this all-knowing, like almost omnipotent being.
It will.
Which it will not. Like AI is only fed as much information as we give it. You know what I'm
Once
saying?
it can start making deductions.
I don't think that's a possibility. Because I think that you underestimate the power of the human ability to perceive. That is like the biggest thing. So like I remember in like high school, we were watching a video about how this dude made this machine that can see and recognize objects. So like a chair, it would recognize a chair, but the second that we put a coat over the chair would cease to exist to the robot. Whereas to humanity, like right now, we know this is still a chair. My jacket's just on top of it, but it's still a chair. That right there, that ability to perceive and understand and to deduct, that will never be recreated by anything other than our own consciousness.
But if you had a quantum computer and you scanned the brain, and then it was, and mind you, this is all in a computer.
Mm-hmm.
You scan the human brain and put it in the quantum computer, and
Okay.
then start it up, and it can function like a human brain. Can it still perceive
I don't think so.
because of the soul?
I think at the end of the day, like life, like you can't recreate life in that sense in a machine. Yes, a machine's alive, but it doesn't have, like you said, a soul. I just don't believe that that's just something that can happen. We can mimic it and we can get daggone near close, but we will never be able to perfectly like recreate. We're talking about like a Detroit becoming human style of scenario where have you ever played that game or know that story? I talked about it before, I think.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, hey, look at
Last
me.
episode.
Look at me. No, but like in that one, they create these androids, and these androids become sentient. And that's like the whole point. There's an android uprising, and at the end, like the good ending, because there's multiple, the good ending is that humanity and these androids learn to live together. It's like the whole point. I don't think we'll ever have that. I really don't.
You remember, I guess it's in Ex Machina,
I was about to say it.
Yeah.
I told you to watch it. a
Beat,
couple
beat.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
the color theory thing. Is that in that movie where he's like, oh, you could have someone who is in a room that's completely black and white,
Mm-hmm.
and all they do all day is read and learn about color theory and what colors are.
Yeah.
Everything that you could know about color, you do know.
Mhm.
And then as soon as you walk out of that black and white room and you see the blues, yellows, and greens all around you, would you recognize them as colors or not?
So are you seeing? See, this gets into a tough debate here. Okay, so are they seeing the colors that they're reading about, or are they just reading it on paper? Is it just a written description?
They never see the color.
They never see the color. So then no, because color is quantified as a physical thing rather than like written. Like you can describe, but like you can't, if they don't know what that color is, that's physically not something that to understand. So like, have you ever, this is something a little off topic, and I want to get back to this because this is a really interesting point. Have you ever heard of the idea that my red is not your red?
Yeah.
That messes with my brain. So it's like we're all taught that like when we're in kindergarten, a teacher points to a color and says, this is red. And for the rest of our lives, we all can agree because we were all taught the same thing, that color is red. But what if to you, that color is my purple? But because they're the same color, we both perceive it as like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I see that as red, the cloth. And you will agree that that is also red. But if we could see through each other's eyes, what if that was blue to you? But because you were taught that that's red, we both agree that it's red.
I like the way they look to me.
What do you mean?
The colors that I perceive in the world.
Yeah.
Like how I perceive them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah.
I think everything is like correct. You know?
Yeah, see, like that's the thing. Like everyone does. Like I would assume the colors I see are correct. We could even agree that like certain maroons for EKU, their color is maroon and white. Okay. We would even agree that, okay, yeah, that maroon shade is wrong. But what if we're not seeing the same color? But because we're taught certain colors are this way, like hard pressed, like this is green. But this might not be green to you, but because you were taught that this is a green, that color in your eyes is green. You know what I'm saying?
But to me, it's like red is about passion and intensity, right? And even if this was my blue to you and you saw it as my UK blue, you wouldn't describe it as an intense, passionate color.
Maybe you would, because that's all that you would associate. People say, oh, like say that is blue, like to you,
Yeah.
right? But blue to you is intense because that's what was described to you. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Yeah, I get it. Like I get what you're
It's
saying.
like you
but still,
you wouldn't. I get what you're saying. Like I'm not saying that this is true, but I'm saying it's an interesting thought.
But blue is not
You could be taught.
objectively.
You can be taught and believe almost anything, my friend.
Yeah.
There are people who believe that people on this earth are gods. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be taught like anything if you had enough.
Who is the closest to God? LeBron?
Right now,
Yeah.
I would say like, well, Yeah, in our country, it would probably be like a professional athlete or like an actor or something. Yeah, for sure. Um, I mean, we talk about Quentin Tarantino. That man walks to a restaurant, people bow down, like instantly. If you're talking about a country and a leader, North Korea, they literally do think he's a god. The people of North Korea think Kim Jong Un is a god. So it's like you can believe anything. So but to get back to the AI talk, because what led us down this rabbit hole?
Yeah, where were we?
We were talking about VFX, weren't we? No, Universal Pictures.
We were talking about Jordan Peele.
Yeah, but we were talking about AI before. I don't know what led us down this, but the whole point, I don't think we'll ever have that problem. I think we'll be long gone before that's even a problem, like possibility. You act like you're so confident about this.
I'm so confident.
He we'll see. He's like looking back, smiling at me, like I listen. I respect your confidence. I just don't agree with it.
I'm completely confident that AI and VR are going to come together in the next 6 months to 3 years, and everything you know about the world is going to be turned completely upside down. We have about a year and a half, I think, to go to campfires and kiss your mom and make cornbread at the house, and then it's all going to crap. We're going to be living in Fortnite.
I don't think that that's necessarily like the wrong statement, but it's not like. But I don't think that. I think what you just said could be correct. Like it could AI and VR can come together to create these massive worlds that we can just tune into whenever we want. I don't think that means AI will control us. I think those two can be mutually exclusive.
I think it'll control us in the way our cell phones control us. They don't really control us, but we've let them, and they do.
Yeah, but there's also recently like that, with that being pushed so hard over the last decade, I think that people are purposefully disconnecting.
I mean, you see a lot of narratives of that, but in mass.
No, you're right.
People are getting closer to it.
You're right, but I hear more and more of people putting like a time limit on their watch limit on their phone. You know what I mean? More and more people I know are doing that. So I maybe that's just people around me, and maybe I'm just naive, but oh well. So moving on, this one had me really interested because we've been talking a lot about the Nosferatu remake by Robert Eggers. Guillermo del Toro is making a Frankenstein film, and it's potentially going to star Mia Goth, Andrew Garfield, and Oscar Isaac. I love this. I love everything happening right now. I'm a big Guillermo del Toro kind of guy. Guillermo's so good. Much deserved. We're talking about the Oscars. We said we might bring it up. Much deserved best animation to Mr. Del Toro.
Del Toro or Wes Anderson?
Oh, no. Why would you ask me this? You know I love them both.
I'll say Wes.
That was so purposefully aimed at my heart. Yeah. Oh, I hate you. See, here, man, recency bias wants me to go Guillermo, not gonna lie. I've seen a lot more Guillermo, and I love what he builds in the worlds that he creates.
I don't know if I like him that much.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna fist fight.
At Pan's Labyrinth, don't like it.
When you don't like Pan's Labyrinth, why? Like I love that movie.
I just don't enjoy it. I don't know it. And then he has one movie that I really like.
Which is?
The Shape of Water.
Okay, The Shape of Water is fantastic.
I'm a hopeless romantic.
Oh my gosh. Shape of Water, The New Pinocchio, Pan's Labyrinth. He did The Hellboys with Ron Perlman. Yep. He did
Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim. These are good films.
Blade 2.
Yes.
You ever seen the original Blade?
With Wes Snipes?
Yes. Dude, what a movie.
I know.
It's awesome.
I love the imagination on, here's the thing too. What you're asking, you have two individuals who have the most active imagination in Hollywood. One of them is super in terms of Guillermo, fantasy, love, just plays in that realm of make believe. Whereas Wes is I'm gonna create the most surreal environment that these people actually live in, and I'm just gonna film them. It's tough because
I don't think it's tough at all.
You also have to be in the mood for one or the other. I love Wes Anderson though, man. I think I could sit down and watch a Wes Anderson film at any time. Just the colors, it's just so beautiful and childlike. It's just it makes me feel like a kid again every time I watch Wes Anderson.
What did you think about The French Dispatch?
I loved it.
Yeah,
I thought it was a fantastic film.
I kind of didn't like the whole the segment with Chalamet as the French revolutionary guy.
You didn't like that at all?
I liked it. I just thought it was a little.
I love the scenes with the paintings.
Indulgent, maybe.
I thought that was really
That was the best part.
It was so cool.
Yeah.
Like the ideas that they were hitting, where it's like Adrian Brody's like beautiful, and he's like, no, this is what's in style, and he pulls down, it's like something completely different, and they're like, oh, like I don't know, I just really enjoyed that scene. The paintings are cool. Yeah, no, I love the French Dispatch.
What's y'all's favorite Wes Anderson?
Okay, if you would have asked me this 5 years ago, I would have said Fantastic Mr. Fox, but Moonrise Kingdom,
Yes.
I love
too.
that film so much.
Me too.
Moonrise Kingdom.
That one says a lot.
Yeah.
That one says like, because like you follow these kids as they grow up. That's so cool.
I
Like,
love that movie.
and the adults are more children than they are,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just really cool. I don't know. I just really liked, like we've talked about before. One of our professors said that he didn't really like Wes Anderson because he didn't really have anything to say about the world, and I disagree. I think he usually does, but I think it's more suppressed, and it's more like you have to really read between the lines to really kind of understand what he's trying to say. And sometimes he's not trying to say anything; he's just trying to create, and that's just as good as anything else.
I loved the Darjeeling Limited.
Oh yes,
Just because I have two brothers,
mm-hmm.
and we're a lot like the characters.
The way they argue and
Yeah.
fight was so funny.
That's how we are.
I love when the King Cobra got loose in the train. That was hilarious. I like that one. You know what I really liked, and it has one of the best sequences I've ever seen. It is the hold on. I will tell you. I lost the title. I had it in my head and then I lost it.
Royal Tenenbaum.
Yes. How do you know I was gonna say that? Royal Tenenbaums was so good. The scene with Luke Wilson when he chops himself, if you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
when like it comes out of nowhere, and that is as good of any horror sequence I've ever seen in my life. And it's just so jarring and unexpected, and it really puts you in his mental state because it cuts back and forth real quick as he's hurting himself, and it was so good, and you could feel his despair. Like, I love the Royal Tenenbaums. And there's one shot in it that I geeked out with my girlfriend. We were watching it, and it's a scene where Ben Stiller grabs his character's dad, and he pulls him down the hallway, and he pulls him into a closet to talk to him like in private because his dad is a bad influence, and he's teaching his kids all kind of crazy crap. And when he pulls him into the closet, like it's a motion, like the camera's like on a crane or not a crane, but like on a dolly or something. And it's like it's going towards, and you see as Ben Stiller closes the door, but it keeps going in, and right as like he closes the door, he turns on the light, and it looked like one continuous shot as if you went through the door and into the room with them. And it was so cool, and it's so minuscule, and it's like a blink and you miss it type, but it's so cool. Like when it happened, I was like, Ashley, I paused it real quick. I'm like, look at what they just did. Like I made her watch it like 5 times. I was like, how'd they do that? And I'm like trying to I'm like surmise, like it's an invisible cut. That's what it was. Like they walked in there, the door shut, they cut and all that. Like it's not that hard to do, but I was so nerdy about it. I was like, oh, Wes Anderson, whoa! Like I would love the DP for Wes Anderson, director of photog. I would love to. He hands me a script and like we storyboard. I would do that in a heartbeat. Or hands me storyboards already. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll tell you. I'll get you your stuff, Mr. Anderson. Don't you worry. Sorry.
I think a lot of people sell Wes Anderson short a bit because they're like, oh, all of his shots are like symmetrical, and they do, he has the really specific like style of framing shots.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, those are the iconic ones, but there's a lot of really, really good, diverse camera work in all of his movies. Yeah.
Every frame. There's not one frame put to waste in a Wes Anderson flick. Never.
His chase scenes are always really good.
Yeah.
His fight scenes are good.
It's just like I was saying, it's surreal. Like I think of in Moonrise Kingdom, I think of the scene where you see Edward Norton being followed by his Boy Scout troop. And it's so weird that that's a scene you think of, but like the way that it's angled and back and you see them all kind of walk across, like, I don't know. I love it. Maybe I do go Wes Anderson. I don't know. I just hate this question. I hate that you've made me think of this question, Cole. I love both so much. They resonate so well, like so high in my heart in film. 2 of my favorites. All right, we'll go through the final few because we're running short on time. Denzel Washington is set to star alongside Paul Mescal and Barry Keoghan in Ridley Scott's Gladiator sequel. Fun stuff. Really excited to see what that ends up being. The final Renfield trailer has been released, showcasing Nicholas Holt's character Renfield taking charge of his own life against Nick Cage's Dracula. That's gonna be so funny. I'm so excited about it.
I'm so into it.
Yeah, I love Nick Cage.
I've made just a real effort. Every time there is a Nick Cage movie in the theater, I see it.
Have you noticed that on like making its way around the scape of TikTok and Instagram Reels, that every what's it called? That
Unbearable
one
Weight.
Unbearable Weight.
It's
Yes,
getting a lot more popular.
yes. That one scene in particular when they take acid and drive, it's getting like it's popular. Like, and I'm very hype about that because it's a good movie. It didn't do it well in theaters, or it didn't.
Pedro Pascal is the most famous actor right now.
Yeah, I mean him, Jenna, and Jonathan Majors are them
Yeah.
three. I love Pedro Pascal. Recently, so I'm making my way through Game of Thrones, and I just got through Prince Oberyn, who is Pedro, who he plays. He did good in that.
He's in everything big right now.
Yep.
The Mandalorian,
He was in Game of Thrones 10 years ago.
Game of Thrones, Last of Us.
He was in Narcos, which blew up about 6 years ago. I think he was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
He was.
Like for an episode, maybe. He's just been around, and he's just slowly grown more and more popular.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time.
Yeah. There was other movies he was
He's
in
in The
too.
Kingsman.
Yeah. He was obviously Wonder Woman 2. What is it? Your life is good,
But it can't.
but it can be better. Yeah. He's just a really good actor. Like, he's one of those guys. He's just the talent.
I watched a film. Came out in 1998. It's called Happiness. Did I tell you about this?
I feel like we've talked about this.
I don't know. It's completely on YouTube, and I can't give away anything. It's got Philip Seymour Hoffman in it, which I'm trying to see every one of his movies because I think he's such a
Oh, Capote.
yeah.
Oh,
I
he
haven't
won
seen it
Best
yet.
Actor for that.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Truman Capote?
No.
Reading Cold Blood. I know you're a reader. He wrote a novel, and it was a turning point for like literary like history because it was essentially like a true crime documentary but in novel, which was really unique to the time. But also Truman had a crush on one of the murderers that he was covering, so that guy is painted in a really high picture. Also, Truman Capote is the character that Lee Harper based. What's his name? It wasn't Dill. I think it was Dill actually. The boy. Have you guys ever read To Kill a Mockingbird? You know the little boy that the main character is like best friends with that lives next door over the summer. That is Truman Capote. That's who Harper Lee based him on the character. What is Atticus Finch's daughter's name? Why am I blank? Scout. Scout's friend Dill, I think, is his name. That's Truman Capote. And Truman Capote tried to say that Harper Lee stole the story from him. Truman Capote's an interesting character, man. He was a partier. He wrote this amazing novel and In Cold Blood. I have a copy, actually, if you want to borrow it, Cole. I'll let you borrow it. It's so good.
I'm reading The Stranger by Camus right now.
I don't know if I know that one.
It's like English sort of classic lit. But I'm only like halfway through it and it's already really good. But a lot of people will say like if you read the whole book, it will be your favorite book.
The Stranger?
Yeah. .1942.
Which one?
1942, The Stranger.
Oh, yeah,
I
okay.
started reading it about a week ago. But yeah, back to what I was saying about happiness. No nudity, no graphic violence, yet I've never seen a more messed up, shocking film in my life.
The Happiness?
I heard about this a couple weeks ago.
Did you?
Actually, yeah.
Shocking. Like, vile. I wanted to take a shower after I saw it.
Really?
Yeah, I've never been more affected by a film in my life. And it's so Paul Thomas Anderson. I don't know how he was not the director, but it's very much a PTA like type movie. A lot of people say it's a lot like Magnolia.
Oh, really?
Apple to spend $1 billion.
Yeah,
on the
here we go.
actual
Yeah, sorry. What
film
I was
productions.
doing, I was listening to what you were saying, but I was also trying to find the list of the top 10 because the report, this is also from the Geekster, and they got it from a reputable source, and I'll actually read that to you because I'll find what they said. But Apple and their 1 billion, that sends them into the top 10. I think it's in the world of spenders in terms of production on film. And obviously Apple TV is blowing up and they're coming out with some really good stuff, but they're trying to send a bunch of their now like feature links to the cinema. And I don't know, it's like I have an interesting perspective, I think, on like, well, I shouldn't say myself, but like I think it's interesting the perspective Apple will bring to film, but also it worries me because of like the Disney effect. Like they have so much control over so much right now, like mobile phones, and now they're getting into entertainment. It's a little worrying. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just my perspective. Maybe I'm just lame. What do you guys think about Apple and their spending?
Are they trying to get movies in theaters?
Yes.
Is that what they're-
Yes. They want theatrical releases.
If you look at some of the films on Apple TV,
I've
they have everything.
I've never watched like an Apple TV original.
Everything big right now.
They have all that?
I think so.
So
Oh my God.
the Geekster got it from Bloomberg, which is like the big business Mongol news network. This would place them in the top 10 studios for production spending, and considering it's their first year doing this, this is pretty significant. The company is attempting to partner with other studios to increase a few titles in theaters this year, including Killers of the Flower Moon, Argyle, and Napoleon. Which Killers of the Flower Moon is Scorsese's with Leo DiCaprio, and they're trying to get that into theaters. If they can successfully pull this off, I want to see what kind of flair they get in their films. Because like we talk about the Oscars, like A24, when you watch an A24 film, you know it's an A24 film, and they just swept the Oscars. I'd be curious to see if Apple does something similar to where they're like, okay, we're going to be very artsy and we're going to try to make something unique, other than just spending for big names and just kind of being another big time spending production company. I don't know. It's intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
Cole?
We'll see. Didn't Apple make Toy Story?
Apple? No.
But wasn't Pixar started as an Apple company?
I don't think so. Was it?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Steve Jobs made Toy Story. Yeah.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, dude.
I'm looking. Pixar began in 1979 as the graphics group, part of the Lucasfilm Computer Division, before its spin out as a corporation in 1986, with funding by Apple co-founder Steve Jobs, who became the majority shareholder. Wow, what a weird bounce. So it started under George Lucas, and then when it spread out after 1979, Steve Jobs became the majority shareholder in the company that became. So it's a George Lucas and Steve Jobs baby. Did not know this, but then Disney bought it.
Yeah. But Jobs was the largest shareholder in Disney at the time.
Yeah,
He owned like 10% of Disney.
yeah.
Which imagine owning 10% of Disney now.
You could. I'd never work again.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd just do whatever I wanted to do. Fascinating. I didn't realize that Pixar had this illustrious history behind it. I mean, it makes sense for why it got as big as it did.
You know, I don't think I'm like that big of a fan.
Of Pixar?
Yeah, I like it. But, I mean, you have to like it.
I think WALL-E is one of the better films of all time.
Oh, God.
Like, I think that one is one of the most original stories ever. I love WALL-E.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
gorgeous.
yes, all those and more. So yeah, I think that's why you have to like Pixar. They've not come out with anything like that in a long time though, and it's kind of sad because their more recent films are not very good. I mean, they're okay, but like with the standard they set in the early 2000s and towards the 2010s, it's tough to keep that steam. Yeah, Up, another beautiful film. I think WALL-E's the best film they've ever made. I put WALL-E in my top 10 of all time, honestly.
It really could be one of the best movies ever.
I think it is. I don't think it could be. I think it is one of them.
Cars 2, like the most unhinged movie.
Yes, dude. No, Cars 2. So, have you seen that one meme where it's like it's got the 3 in their descriptions and it's like race, super spy movie, and it just goes on this huge description how this car is like massacring by the masses these other cars, and then it says race for car 3. It's so funny. I love it so much. Gets mad because crash. I love Cars too, man. I might have said before that I didn't like it, but like, I mean, in terms of like the trilogy, it makes no sense, but I love Mater, so you can't dislike it. I was having a discussion recently, and do you guys remember the Mater short tales or the Mater shorts?
Oh, yeah.
Vaguely.
Oh, I watch those all the time.
The Ghost Light.
The Ghost Light. Yeah, that's so funny, man. I remember El Matador, where he's blue, or no, he's white, and he's got the he's painted all white, and he's a matador, and he's got a big
Really?
bull chasing him. Yeah.
No, the bull is the combine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the bull, the combine. Yeah, that's what it's meant to be. It's so
I
funny.
remember that one.
It was so funny.
I like the idea, like, there's the Pope car. So there must have been, like, a Jesus car.
Yeah.
And they used cross symbology, so he must have been nailed to a big
Oh
cross.
man. Oh yeah.
They got, like, World War II vans. So
It
there
wasn't a
was car
cross though.
Hitler.
It wasn't a cross. It was just it was like 2 mufflers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
What else is, was there, like, a car DB Cooper?
Yeah, well, if they're in World War II, there's a car Hitler.
Yeah.
There's car Fidel Castro. Oh, the lore of cars.
Car God.
Ah! It's just a Mercedes Benz in the sky.
Like, Enzo Ferrari.
I don't think God would like if he was a. This is so weird. Would he be a car like a that? I feel like he would be something like. I don't
He'd be
know.
like the bike.
Say what?
He'd be a bike.
He'd be a bike.
He's the first car was really a bike.
Yeah, but in the image of God, like if you take that sense, so Cars God would also be a car.
What car would he be?
We were just throwing some
The
out.
Model T.
No. Maybe. I
The
don't know.
DeLorean.
I'm thinking no, he wouldn't be a DeLorean. I'm thinking like one of the original cars with the white like tires and they're like real sleek looking from like the 1930s. I can imagine that. God, that they're looking like an Italian mobster car.
How'd we get on this?
Oh, we were talking about Pixar and then Cars 2.
The car
and
Pope.
The Car Pope, yeah.
I'm sorry. Y'all.
Dear Lord.
We're on the border of blasphemy. It's okay. This
Car
is
Jesus,
normal.
man.
Forgive me, Car Jesus. Anyway, that's all I got in terms of film news. Oh, I guess the one thing we were talking about people who are like retiring from film. Todd Field, sorry, makes me very sad. Do you guys know Todd Field? He most recently directed Tar, but he did Little Children, In the Bedroom. Very good filmmaker, but he takes these big gaps. His last film before Tar was in 2006 with Little Children, and he has said recently that he's probably going to retire. He said that he can change, but he has no plans to do another film, and it's very sad because his films are very good.
You watched Tar? Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
I did.
He's the piano player in Eyes Wide Shut.
Yes. Todd Field is good, and I like Tar. I like the idea that I can't remember what the main character's name. What was her name? Hold on. Lydia. That's right. I mean, her last name's obviously Tar, but Lydia. The idea that she suffers because I'm blanking on everything right now. Give me a second while I look something up real quick. But the idea that this character has like she has this issue with sound and like her surroundings is I thought that was really cool. I was fascinated by Tar. I really enjoyed it a lot. Kate Blanchett did obviously she's fantastic in anything she's in.
You liked it?
I did. I'm not gonna say like it was my favorite, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good film.
Does it drag?
I didn't think so.
You think so?
No, I mean it's 2.5 hours. I mean it's a little long, but I didn't think it was that bad. Like you feel every one of those 2.5 hours, like 2.5 minutes, hours, whatever. We're surviving. We're making it. Yeah. Well, I think that's our show. We're gonna kind of drop it off a cliff here. gone on an hour and a half. Speaking of movies, we just went as long as the entire Venom 2 movie is. Look at us making feature lengths.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. What do you guys have to say? Final thoughts on today's episode.
Congrats to A24 with the Oscars.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Brendan Fraser, Kihei Kwan.
Congrats to Power Rangers for coming back.
They did it. They've done it. Hopefully more cool news keeps coming out because we've had the last like 2 or 3 episodes. We've had some pretty cool stuff to talk about. Hopefully we can keep this train going. All right. Well, that's the end of our episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like, subscribe, share, do your thing. Comment what you thought. Also, I did almost forget to comment on my Scream takes last episode. I wasn't thinking of 5 or 4. I was thinking of like 3 or something. I don't remember my exact take, but it was very wrong, and I want to apologize for that. 3 wasn't very good. I didn't like it. But 4 and 5 were very meta and very cool. Now that I've corrected my sin, see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.